Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
We're coming to you Monday night, holiday Monday here in Ontario.
May 2-4.
May 2-4. Leafs defeat the Montreal Canadiens 2-1 and take a 2-1 series lead. So here we go, brother. Here we go.
Here we go.
They, after the game one that I said was a wash because of everything that happened.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the playoffs for them started Saturday. They've won both games. Let's get into the game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And let's be honest here. Without Carey Price, they probably don't win game one. And we're looking at a 3-0 series lead. Without that Tavares injury, who knows? But anyway, you're right. Series probably started for the Leafs really on Saturday night. And here we are. So, yeah, I mean, look, man, incredible. They go up 2-1 in the series. They beat the Habs. They go into Montreal, beat them 2-1. Off the top here, saw a little some information coming out from Masters and Kristen Chilton and some of the reporters saying Foligno not at the morning skate, right? Not at the morning skate.
But Keefe said he'll play.
Keefe said he was going to play. So I'm thinking, okay, don't sweat
Maintenance day.
Sure, no problem. He's
rest in the groin.
He said exactly. He's had some lingering issues or a lingering issue, and optional skate. Like, why would you be out there? Didn't really think too much of it. Yeah. And then here we go. And Keefe said he was going to play. Takes the warm up. Can't go. Groin is flaring up. Clearly, cannot go.
We've all been there.
Little concerning. When that disheartening for me, because I'm like, because
him and Matthews were so good 1-2 last game. And now you're like, oh, Kerfoot's got to go up. And we'll get into this later because I felt like Kerfoot played a great game.
100% he did. And it was disheartening when I hear this because the Foligno news, just because with Tavares out and if Foligno can't go, it just, they should be deep enough to beat the Habs anyway, but it just gives the team such a different look without those two very important guys in the lineup. So it was just disheartening. I'm like, okay, so here we go again. Like, if it's not fucking one thing, it's another for the Leafs, right?
And Montreal just keeps rolling with a healthy lineup.
Right. Well, not so much anymore. They got a little banged up tonight, too.
They got a little banged up, but their stars are
not key. Well, who are we talking about here? Like, who? I don't think Gallagher's playing at 100% either. So
Gallagher's definitely not playing at 100%.
So who's their best player beyond him?
Shea Weber's playing. He's
not 100%.
But still, they're in the lineup.
No,
JT's out. We don't know when he's going to be back.
That's right.
Foligno, we have no idea. It was just like watching the broadcast, it shocked the broadcasters. Like, they were like scrambling to find something to say when the word came out that Nash was going to go in his place. Did Nash even play?
So, well, here's the thing. So Nash draws in, okay?
Kills the penalties.
Nash draws back in because Foligno can't go. So Sheldon decides to bump Kerfoot up to play with Willie and Galchenyuk. And initially, Sheldon started the game with Nash on the third line with Engvall and Mikheyev, and the fourth line was the same with the three veterans. That didn't last very long. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'm sure you did.
I did. Nash kind of went MIA.
Well, they moved right away. Okay, so they kept the first two lines intact, but then a couple shifts in, for whatever reason, Sheldon was like, okay, going to make an in-game adjustment here, moves Simmons up to play with Engvall and Mikheyev, bumps Nash down to play with Spezza and Thornton, and that's pretty much how it played out for the remainder of the game. So I think I kind of like that a little more. I don't have a problem giving Simmons more minutes because the more Simmons is engaged, I'm cool with that. Like, he's going to be more engaged playing on the third line than on he's going to have more ice time, right? So I don't have an issue with that.
And he's played. Like, Riley Nash hasn't played in 2 months.
Sure. So it probably makes more sense.
Yeah, easing him in on the fourth line and playing a guy like Simmons who you can trust. He's played. You know what you're getting from Simmons.
And like you said,
it was a smart move.
100%, I agree. And like you said, Nash got some penalty killing time and whatever.
He's a really good penalty killer.
Sure, that's great. If you have him in on the fourth, like if Foligno can't go or whatever the case may be, and like we'll see going forward in regards to if Foligno's going to play tomorrow night or like who would come out, and we'll go from there. But having Nash on the fourth line with Spezza and Simmons, with Spezza and Thornton, I kind of think that might be a better option. And then play him special team wise, like killing penalties, right? Might be a better fit than the third line center role, maybe, especially the way Engvall has been playing.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like, you ease someone back into the lineup. You don't.
Sure.
Riley Nash he's older. He's been around. It probably takes him a while to get back into things after an injury. Put him on the fourth line. I didn't mind it at all. You're going to play 6, maybe 7 minutes and some penalty kill. And as you get that under your belt, then maybe you move up to the third line. That's probably where it ends for him, is the third line. I don't see him going higher than that. You need guys who can score on the first and second line.
Yeah, and even on the third line, I think that, there hasn't been a lot of offense out of Mikheyev. Engvall recently has produced offensively. Simmons, not really either, right? So, and that's why I've been questionable about Spetz is the most offensive guy in your bottom 6 forwards. I still don't really get the reluctancy to move him up, but there doesn't look like that's going to happen. They, for whatever reason,
he does play on the power play.
Sure, power play. Sure,
but so does Simmons and Thornton.
And who gets the most chances on their second power play? Usually, fucking Spezza.
Yeah, so Spezza and Willie, they got a little chemistry. Maybe you should.
Second line.
Try Spezza on the second line.
Been saying that for fucking months, man. But anyway, if
Kerfoot did amazing tonight.
Yeah, we can get
best game as a Maple Leaf.
Without a doubt. And he's put 2 good games together. I was calling. Do you want to just talk about Kerfoot now or let's just talk about him now?
Yeah, let's talk about him. I thought that was the best game I've seen Kerfoot play in a Leaf uniform. He was all over the ice.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. And honestly, as you know, anybody who listens to us knows, I've been calling for Kerfoot.
You didn't want Kerfoot to even be in the lineup at the start of the playoffs.
No, to me, when healthy, he would not be in my top 12 personally. Well, all of a sudden now I'm getting a little Woody for little Alex Kerfoot. I'm getting a little bit of a soft spot going for little Kerfoot. He's playing exceptionally fucking well. Maybe the best hockey he's ever played in his career. Yep. So
they have what did Simmons call it? Their next man up mentality.
Yeah.
If someone goes down, you raise your game. Kerfoot did that, man.
Big time.
Foligno couldn't go. It was his job to fill the second line center role, and he came through. He came through huge tonight.
Pressure situation, man. Your captain can't go. JT's out. The guy they wanted to replace him with, Foligno, can't go. Okay, Kerf, let's see what you got. And he was great, man. On the Nylander goal, on the first goal of the game there, Kerfoot wins the draw, gets it to Willie. Willie rips it. Fuck, man.
And Willie,
oh, dude.
Willie, 3 goals, 3 games. Is he one of the only guys who's I'm going to shoot it?
That's what you said. There's not a ton of guys shooting the puck. It seems like every time he gets it on his stick, he's
Marner's overthinking things.
Oh, every fucking
he's hanging on to it way too long and trying to find the pass and not he's missed open nets. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Mitch.
Willie, give me the puck. I'm going to whip it at the net.
Mitch is quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Mitch here because game 4 is going tomorrow night and we'll see where Mitch is at after that. But quickly on Mitch, Mitch has played well in aspects of the game. Obviously he's a great penalty killer. He's a smart hockey player, but like you said, I could not agree more. Overthinking, hanging on too much. He's almost slowing the game down, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on the situation. But in the Leafs situation where it's kind of speed and if Mitch is ripping it around and Austin is ripping it around, I don't know if slowing it down is.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's slowing it down, but what it is, it's overthinking. He wasn't doing this in the regular season. He was making quick decisions and miraculous plays. And now he's the power play. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
He's fumbling the puck. He's hanging onto it so long. And you could tell in his head, he's do I throw it back to Sandin or do I throw it over to Matthews or what do I do? I was honestly saying, watching the game, why not take Mitch off the top unit and put Willie there? Because then you got 2 shooters. Willie's hot right now. He's whipping the puck. Montreal's just standing on Matthews knowing he's going to shoot. If you got Willie on the other side, it's going to break him up because they're well, fuck, this guy can score too.
Okay, they had. I don't disagree with that. I was thinking that too. They had a power play to start the third, and Willie was on that power play.
But it was only 50 seconds long.
That's right. But it was Mitch, Austin, Hyman, Tavares, or sorry, Mitch, Austin, Hyman, Willie, and Sandin. Thornton was off. And now here, I'm going to beat a dead horse here with the whole Joe Thornton thing. Like, do you take Mitch off of it and put Willie there, or do you take Thornton off of it and put Willie there?
You take Thornton off.
Probably, yeah. You take Thornton off. Like, I don't know what the.
But I'm just saying, Willie has earned the right to be on the top power play.
Okay,
when it's not scoring.
Well, I don't disagree. Now, how could he not be there next game? Like, having the two different special teams, or two different power play units, I get that. But he's the hottest guy on the team right now with putting the puck in the net. Team.
I'm pretty sure he's up there in like NHL scoring in the playoffs right now. Like, and he's only played 3 games.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would make that adjustment going forward because their power play wasn't great again tonight. So I would make that adjustment personally. I would put Willie on the top unit and probably take Thornton off. Not probably, 100% I would take Thornton off. Yeah. Even though,
if you want a veteran on there, Spezza. Put Spezza on the top unit.
Okay, but they don't need Spezza out there with those guys. I don't think.
I know, but he has this. I don't know. Keefe has this tendency to want to put like a veteran guy out on the number 1 unit, whether it's Simmons or whether it's Thornton. Well, why not Spezza? Like you say, he's the most offensive out of all the old guys on the team.
Yeah.
Just something different, man.
Like, okay, I get like Thornton, he doesn't kill penalties. He's playing on the 4th line. So there's not a lot of extra minutes for Joe. So if he's not playing on the power play, like I think they're trying to figure out like, okay, where can we use him? Because he's not contributing like really in like other areas of the game. So like, I would have no problem with the first power play going forward for tomorrow night and game 5, whatever, being what we just said, Marner, Austin, Willie, Hyman, and Sandin. Maybe you give a second power play, Spezza, Simmons, Thornton, Kerfoot, and Riley, or like I wouldn't even do that personally. Like,
no, it's something they've got. It's something that they've got to look at. But I think everybody, including ourselves and the coaching staff, I think everybody's overthinking the power play. I think it literally is just as simple as putting another solid goal scorer up there, like putting Willie back on the top unit.
Okay, so if you take Thornton off of the first power play unit and put Nylander there, what does your second unit look like? Who would you have the 5 guys you would have out there for the second unit?
Oh God, well, I don't know. I guess I would just put. So who's my top unit?
Willie, Hyman, Mitch, Austin, and Sandin.
Then I would try something different with my second unit. I would have probably Simmons as a guy like in front of the net. I'd probably have Riley quarterbacking. I'd probably put Mikheyev out there for speed and Spezza out there for passing.
There's no chance you're getting a goal from Mikheyev.
Yeah, but to have somebody who can move around,
I'd rather have a guy. Okay,
I would play that. I would load up the top unit like
so would I.
And I'd play them 90 seconds out of so you have 30 seconds to fill with the second.
Like
unit.
I'm sorry, Joe. Like we love you.
Without Tavares, it's very hard.
It is hard. And look, we love you, Joe, and all that, but for the first unit, you can get, like we were talking about, net front presence, and maybe that's why he's got Thornton out there. Well, guess what? When you've got Hyman out there, you don't really need more net front presence. Hyman's going to give you all the net front presence you're going to need on that top unit. My second unit would look like this.
He's not really doing anything.
No. My second unit would look like this. Like, sorry, Joe, but like it is what it is. Like, I'm not taking Joe out of the lineup, but that 4th line spot, that's where you're going to be. You're not going to get special team play. That's just where it's at. I'd have Spezza, Simmons, Kerfoot, Galchenyuk, and Morgan Riley. That would be my second unit.
Yeah, that's a good. Galchenyuk's a good one. But
who else do you have other than Spezza on that second unit right now that can shoot? A pure shooter. Like, Galchenyuk can rip it if he's open. So that's probably what I would do. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, let's get into the game recap. So this game started with probably the worst period of hockey in all the playoffs. It was the choppiest, slowest first period. Offsides, icings, like
Well, they open the game. Galchenyuk takes a fucking 4-minute high sticking call, right?
Yeah, that took the flow right out of the Leafs.
So I'm like, here we go. Right off the bat, it's going to be a total reversal of game 2, and all the calls are going to go the Leafs fucking way. Once I found out who was ref, and I texted you, I'm like, this guy is a fucking Leafs killer, man. It didn't
turn out that way.
It didn't. But if you ever look into this guy, give him a little Google search. This guy's a Leafs killer. Their record when this guy refs is atrocious.
Not good.
No, it's insane.
Insane. They won tonight, so that's good. So yeah, he takes a 4-minute penalty. He hits Gallagher's mustache with a stick.
That's right.
Makes him bleed under the stash.
Yeah.
Montreal, I think they had one shot, and
it wasn't good. Wasn't a good power play.
Cole Caulfield, and I'll just go off a bit here to say this. This is my letter to Sportsnet. Dear Sportsnet, Cole Caulfield is not Wayne Gretzky. Love, Chad. Could we talk more about, could they show more replays of this guy and talk about how he is like the greatest thing and he's going to save
I know,
Montreal Canadiens?
But look, man, I get it to an extent because don't have offense.
But they're talking about him like he's going to pop all these goals and he brings his offensive spark.
Well,
and I'm
for them.
Okay, but you realize on the other team is the Rocket Richard.
No, I get that. Like if Caulfield played for the Leafs, he would be.
He'd be up in the press box.
How far?
Well, he'd be playing now, but
he would not be he'd be deep. He'd be deep down the lineup. Like there's the Leafs. I just guys.
Couldn't get over the sunshine being blown up Cole Caulfield's ass tonight. And Sportsnet, every time he was on the ice, they kept showing him. And every time they went to commercial, it was a Cole Caulfield replay. I was like, okay, let's pump the brakes here. The guy's played like 12 games in the NHL.
Well, in the first 2 periods, what did the guy have? 4 shifts? He was glued to the bench.
But he hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
On that 4-minute power play. And
early. Yeah.
Early in the game. And you would have thought that Montreal won the cup the way Sportsnet was showing the replay of that crossbar. I just thought it was, I don't know. I just thought it was stupid. I'm like, okay, he's good, but there is a lot of there's better players on Montreal. Like Josh Anderson's a better player than him. I don't know.
No, I
just didn't understand Sportsnet's love affair with.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Maybe they're just trying to write a storyline for TV. I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyway, his shot off the crossbar was the only chance they had in the 4 minutes. That was it. I don't even think they got a shot on goal other than that. Leafs kill it off. We move on.
Yeah. So, in the, there was no scoring in the first period, right? There was, all the scoring was in the second period.
All the scoring was in the second period. So it was a choppy, slow.
For sure. So, that's fine. Whatever. Like, I feel a lot more comfortable about this Leafs team in close games than previous years, especially previous playoffs, whatever. Just they've done well in close games this year, 2-1 games, 3-2 games, whatever. So I didn't feel super worried about it going into the third. But anyway, like we said, Nylander scores his third of the playoffs, 3 straight games, 3 goals each game off a nice face-off win by Kerfoot. Puck goes right to Willie. He rips it past Carey Price.
He did that thing that they should do more often. Shoot the fucking puck.
Yeah. So Suzuki scores 4 or 5
Campbell should have had
later. It. Yeah, not the greatest goal, but
Campbell should have had it, but Riley should have played it better.
Right. And Riley was that's right. I agree with that, both of those things. And Riley was kind of like looking at the replay on the bench and was like, yeah, whatever.
I think Riley didn't know if it was a 2-on-1. He didn't look behind him. He didn't know if it was a 2-on-1, and he kind of got froze, and Suzuki beat Campbell with a shot from the slot. But who made up for his mistake?
Literally 2 minutes later, Morgan Riley rips it home. Like he takes a pass from Mitch. Mitch gets Riley the puck, and Riley fucking hash marks in and rips it past Carey Price.
Beautiful shot.
Absolutely incredible. That's all she wrote. 2-1 Leafs. That's how it ended. And we went into the third period, and like I just said, like I felt comfortable. Like the Habs were coming pretty hard, so I was like, okay, this could be whatever. Jack Campbell didn't have a lot of work in the first and second period. All of a sudden, it tide turned in the third. Price isn't getting any action, and Campbell's having to fucking just stopping everything.
Campbell was unreal in the third period.
He was great. I thought he
phenomenal
was great.
saves. He looks zoned in, man.
He did.
He looks zoned. He's looked zoned in since game one.
He's been great. But tonight, I think tomorrow there will be more talk about Campbell because of how that third period ended up. Like the Habs were pressuring them all over. They could have tied that game. They could have tied that game.
When they pulled the goalie with 2 minutes left, like Toronto couldn't get it out of their own end. But Campbell stood tall. He made save after save after save. And also, I feel like one of Campbell's downfalls has been his rebound control this season. He's not like, I think Freddie is really good at sucking in rebound. Look at Carey Price, like unbelievable at controlling rebounds. Yeah. Campbell's getting really good at it.
Agreed.
He totally got a lot of whistles when they needed it, you know? So good on Campbell.
Yep, 100%.
But that brings us to the big question. The big question is, does Campbell start tomorrow?
Not even a question. Not even a question. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Zero doubt.
They had to give him a maintenance day after one game.
Yeah, I got that. But they've taken a 2-1 lead. What is more likely to happen tomorrow night? Campbell plays and they take a 3-1 lead, or Anderson plays and the Habs tie the series 2-2?
Yeah, you're right.
What's the more likely scenario?
Yeah, Anderson hasn't been really sharp and he hasn't played a lot. So
you're gonna now throw him in the most important game of the series. They could go home up 3-1.
Yeah.
It's not Anderson's time. This isn't it. Anderson has done nothing to take himself out. Okay, and Keith kind of hinted at it earlier today about, because I think he was asked who would start tomorrow, wouldn't give the straight answer. He said he'd see after the game. But realistically, like, Campbell has done nothing in this series to play himself out of the net. In fact, I think he's even gained the coaching staff's confidence more by his play, being like, yeah, I got this. Like, I got it.
Yeah, he that third period probably solidified his start tomorrow night.
Dude, like, it's too risky for me to put Freddie in net. It's too fucking risky. Barring, like, Jack seemed to play okay. Like, since the injury issues, he seems to be okay. Like, I don't know what's going on with his groin or whatever, but he seems to be able to play. And Sheldon mentioned about, like, we're not traveling. We're staying in the city. They'll be back at their hotel probably in half an hour or whatever from now, or maybe even sooner than that. And, like, you know, something to eat, watch some TV, go to bed. He's got nothing to do. Like, maybe, you know, take a little jacuzzi or take a little dip. Who knows what they got cooking at the hotel, but
that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But, like,
a little jacuzzi, a little dip.
But, you know, they're not getting on a plane. They're not traveling anywhere. They're staying in the same city. They're playing again. Like, there's no need for me. Like, I just don't see a need in this particular situation to play Freddie Anderson. And personally, I think it would be a mistake at this time. That's not the right time. Like, heaven forbid they play fucking Freddie tomorrow night and they lose 4-1. Why'd you play Fred? Why'd you play Freddie? Why didn't you play Jack coming off of that great third period? It's
you're right. Everyone would be like, it's the playoffs. Who gives a shit about back-to-backs? Play your starter.
You win
Jack's
that
your guy. Go with Jack.
You win that game tomorrow night. Take a commanding 3-0 lead. The Habs have to beat you 3 fucking straight, and that ain't fucking happening. It ain't happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. So it's not happening. So you play Jack tomorrow night. You try to fucking put a stranglehold on this fucker, and that's what I would do. And I would be absolutely shocked if that's not what they do. Like, how is it not Jack Campbell? It has to be. It has to be. Is Carey Price going to play? 100%.
Yes, Carey Price is definitely going to play.
Do you think they would go to Jake Allen?
No,
not the way Price has been playing.
I think you summed it up perfectly when you said they might not have won game one had it not been for Carey Price. And tonight, this game early on might have got a little out of control had it not been for Carey Price. That stick save on Jason Spezza with the open net,
dude.
Like, come on, how many goalies make that save?
Yeah, not many.
That's a Carey Price save.
Yep. Oh, big time. Big time.
That goes in, it's a totally different game, but
So barring if Campbell can't go for whatever reason because of something flaring up or whatever, that would be the only situation. Is if he absolutely is like, I can't go, then we got a problem. And then obviously they don't have a choice. But barring that situation, if Jack is like, yeah, okay, I'm good, it's all good, it's Campbell 100%. 100 fucking percent. He looks in his zone, man. Like, what has he given up in this series? In the first game, he gave up 2 goals. The last 2 games, he's given up a goal a game. How are you not playing that fucking guy?
Yeah, no, he's been dominant this series.
Like, fuck.
You got to play him. You got to play Jack Campbell. And we will find out tomorrow night. Is there anything else you want to hit on?
Yeah, a couple quick things. I want to talk about the production from the Leafs defense in this series. They gave a stat on the television going into tonight that the Leafs had 7 points going into tonight. I believe I might have this wrong, but I think this is what they said. The Leafs had 7 points from their defense in the first 2 games. They got an additional Riley scored tonight, and Brody had an assist on that goal. So that would bump it up to 9 points from the Leafs defense in this series. Do you know how many points the Habs defense has in this series?
I do not.
0.
I think you're going to tell me.
0, dude.
0.
A goose egg. The Leafs almost have 10 points from their defense in the first 3 games. The Habs have fucking 0 production. Not even an assist from one of their fucking blue liners. That is a crazy stat.
Well,
right
they only
there
have
in
3 goals.
Games. Well, there you go. That goes back to they can't score, right? Like,
yeah, I know. You get a lead on this team, and you can beat them. You can beat them.
But I thought that was impressive. Like, Sandin pops home. I think it was the 3rd goal of the game in game 2. Riley scores the game winner tonight, and you're getting guys with like Hall assisted on the game winner in game 2 that on the Austin Matthews goal, where he had the shot off the Price's pad and the rebound.
Yeah, he went for the rebound.
So all of a sudden the Leafs defense is contributing all over the fucking place. Like, they're doing a good job in their own end, defending leads, and this Campbell's playing well. The Leafs defense is contributing now offensively. 9 points out of the Leafs D in the first 3 games. Like, dude, a lot of good things we're talking about here. A lot of good things that look promising moving forward. Mitch can play a little better. Austin has played great, but can still, I believe, play better. Nylander has played incredible. Like, get Kerfoot, Engvall. I thought Simmons was great again. Like, guys looking really good up and down the lineup, which is like, they're obviously something that was going to be needed with Tavares being out.
Something we haven't seen in Toronto in the playoffs in the last few years.
Oh my God.
You've always had the big guys show up, but we've had a lot of guys who just go MIA. But this year, you got some guys on this team that want to win, man. They want to give it.
It looks that way. It looks that way, dude. So, hey, I'm like super positive here. And I just don't see a scenario where this, I mean, Carey Price.
Are you pumped?
I'm super pumped. Like, I was really down.
Win tomorrow night. Win tomorrow night, and it's
starting to feel like the more it gets going, I was so down after the first game. I was just like, not just that they lost, the whole Tavares thing. I was just like, my God, man. Like, I was gearing up for a really fun, like, spring and like early summer for this team going on a run. And it just like the air came out of it, everything, like right off the bat, right? Such a great regular season and just, deflating immediately. But game 2, feeling a little better. Game 3, feeling a little better. A tight 2-1 game. The Habs were coming, like we said, and the Leafs were able to shut it down. I'm feeling good about where this is trending, and I still think they are nowhere near where they can be in regards to their level of play. I still think there's levels to go all over the place. Better defensively, better offensively. Like, can Jack be even better? Hard to imagine. He's given up 2 goals in the last 2 games. Like, a lot of positive.
But if Jack just keeps that level, we're good to go.
Oh, dude.
If he plays like he did tonight, we are good to go. They will win if he plays like that.
Without a doubt. If you're giving up 1 goal a game,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not even just giving up 1 goal a game. He just looks so poised in the net.
He looks very confident, man. And it's incredible for a guy, in my opinion, who's like, he's not a rookie. He's been in the league for a long time, but he's just never had an opportunity like this. He's seizing the moment, and he has to know how big an opportunity this is for him. He takes them, Leafs win this series in 5 or 6 games, and he's the guy that like plays well every game. They go and play the Jets or Edmonton, probably the Jets.
He could be the starting goalie for one of the top teams in the NHL.
Probably this team. That's what's on the line here. He's like, shit, man, if I have a good showing here, take this team into the second, third round or beyond, this is my new job for like the.
Yeah, he can do it.
He's gonna get a contract. Like,
he can do it.
Fred goes bye-bye and Jack is the man. Like, he knows that's what's on the table here, right? Like, it's clear as day, is it not? Like, that's what it, like, we all want to see playoff success this season for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but looking ahead, this is a huge fucking playoffs for Jack Campbell and his career. Like,
oh yeah, and he's seizing the moment. He's playing great. So what else did you want to get to?
No, not a lot. Like, I thought Riley and Sandin were really good contribution the last couple games. Just mainly the defensive
also
play.
Sportsnet. If you're going to blow sunshine up Cole Caulfield's ass because he is the savior, and then you're going to make comments like, look at all the confidence Keefe has in Rasmus Sandin. It's a 1-goal game and he's playing in the third period. It's like, okay, man, Sandin's played more NHL games than Cole Caulfield.
Yeah.
You're treating it like Sandin's a nobody and Caulfield is the savior.
Yeah, no, I know.
Sandin has looked fantastic.
Yeah, I thought he's looked
these playoffs.
I've been super impressed with, and I thought, and again, like, see, like, guys that I was personally ragging on going into the playoffs, Riley, Kerfoot, whatever. I've really thought, I think Riley's, minus maybe he didn't play the first goal right tonight, but he came back and got the game-winning goal. And Sandin, you could look at the same thing with Sandin in game 1. Maybe I don't think it was Sandin's fault, those 2 goals in game 1, but he was on the ice for both of the Habs 2 goals in game 1, but he rebounded nicely in game 2. I thought Sandin played well again tonight, and
that's a coach showing confidence, being like, you're going to come back.
And so maybe we can wrap it up on the power play, unless there's anything else you want to go to. Again, Riley, Sandin, shout out. Kerfoot, honestly, killer, absolutely killing it. Engvall's looking good. I thought Simmons again was feisty and all over it. Campbell, incredible. Again, a lot of positives. Winning a tight game, being able to shut it down, all really, really good things. But to end it on the power play before we get into tomorrow night, game 4. Look, man,
we'll be back tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night. No one listening will know that because it's just going to be one episode. But anyway, we just thought we'd do a little live action after game 3. But listen, Sandin, if they do a first power play like we were talking earlier, Sandin, Mitch, Austin, Willie, and Hyman. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, like, there's threats all over the place, right? The way Willie's putting the puck in the net, you got to cover him as much as you're covering Austin.
That's what I said.
Exactly. And with Sandin at the point, now that's like, okay, now they got a guy at the point that might rip it if he's open, instead of a guy like Morgan, who's always going to look for that extra pass. Like, Sandin's smart too. Like, if he sees Willie open or Austin open, he's going to hit them with a pass. Yeah. But if he doesn't see that, he's going to rip it.
Yeah. I feel like, okay, when it comes to power play, I feel like we have beaten this horse to death. We have talked about every angle, every player that could be on the power play.
Well, how much did we talk about, like,
but they need a guy. They
need a guy up top who's willing to shoot the puck.
Right, and they have that now in Sandin. But it's just come down to this. This is up to the coaching staff to make a few personnel changes on the power play. That's what it comes down to now. Like, we can keep talking and talking and talking. Everybody, you listen to the radio stations, they're talking about Leaf power play, Leaf power play, Leaf power play.
Big issue.
It's a huge issue because it doesn't score and they have so many skilled players, but are they playing the right players?
That's right.
That's what it comes down to. And I think tomorrow night we are going to see a different power play. I think Willie will be on the top unit. Fingers crossed, I hope.
I think you're right.
I hope.
You're right. Hey, we will see you tomorrow night. We will catch you later. Go get them, Leafs. 3-1 lead. Let's do this. Let's take it home for Game 5 with a 3-1 lead. Go, Leafs. Go. Hey everyone, Dale here from the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. As well, take a look at some of our other videos. If you want to listen to the audio version of our podcast, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all other podcast platforms. Visit tipinsportsmedia.com to find out more, and you can find the link in the description below.